Should we go out? Did. Alright. Perfect. Alright, pause. Pause. Alrighty. Woo! Hello and welcome to today's Dungeons and Dragons play. Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons. Alright, I'm Samius in... Whoa, what did I roll? 22. Sounds bad. A bunch of junk in our backpack. Oh boy. Oh boy. Level 8. Man, there's so much good stuff to do. We're gonna just clear some stuff. Sorry. I just got up. I hadn't really woken up yet. And instead of rolling out of bed and getting started like I normally do, I laid in bed for 15 minutes or so and read Facebook. That's how it works sometimes, man. Sometimes you just gotta lay in bed and nothing. Alright. Let's have a I got a cricket outside my window. We have a few options, but I think I want to start with finishing off Splinter School. Should be the last two quests in Splinter School, I believe. We'll go out there, do that, and then we'll start with, oh, I don't know, there's a lot of things. Huh. Our rune arm didn't equip either when we logged in. Facebook. You have notifications. Well, thank you, Facebook. Thank you very much. All right. We're listening to... Best Gaming Music Mix 2017. Dubstep, trap, drumstep, electro. I do really enjoy this kind of music for a lot of things. Uh-oh. And So I stopped to read what looked like, I don't know, some serious concerns with the wiki, but it turns out to just be some people complaining at each other. It's fine. Whatever. Also, I'm out of Kleenexes. That's like one of the worst things that can happen to a streamer. Alright. I'm gonna assume that these spiders are gonna follow me. So I might as well just deal with them. Also, the only reason I'm using this guy is because he happened to be here. Nobody else seemed to want to be DPS-ish. Which is funny because he's not really DPS either. So Tobrell and I were playing HOTS last night. He wanted to know what I was playing today. He's off work today and was interested in hanging. So we might be getting joined by Tobrell a little later on. Which will be special. He's also not very pro heal me either, so. Alright, is Twitch having problems again today? Because YouTube's got people watching, which is like almost never the case. Unless Twitch is like totally full. bust through this front line. Go play with this champion. Should probably go ahead and put the trip on the bar. I feel like this is F or gun. Okay, let's turn to I. I don't think that's right. I don't remember though. That's not something I do. I feel like this is gun. Again, it could be completely opposite. Gun, ghost. Alright, hat and eye. Hat, eye, ghost. And fragments are dropping fast and furious here. I'll take it. Which is... Oh, you know I didn't restart Samius bot. I need to do that. No, he's running. I. When this is ghost. Yeah, I think that's alright position-wise, right? For the light, that's not bad. This is the problem when you stream everything all the time. You rarely have a random, or rarely have thoughts that you haven't already shared. So... Oh man, I need to find a subject. I cannot let the dead air stand. Twitter, save me. Dragon Con is this weekend? That's probably cool. Jewel Saute is there, spying on people. And there's some Haley costumes you can make out in the crowd. At least one woman with the rainbow umbrella. That looks fun. Superman's gonna wear his black suit in the movie Justice League. Woo! Yeah, I don't know. I just can't get excited for the DC movies. I probably should be more excited. I have a hard time. I'm really excited for Kingsman. I saw a new trailer this morning for Kingsman. Well, animated short where he's running through the city doing Kingsman things, and then he gets to the tailor's office, and Archer's in there, and we end up having a little drinking contest. It was really cute. I thought it was a really good little sketch. But I love the Kingsman movies. Well, shouldn't say movies. Kingsman, the first one, and I'm hopeful for the second one to be at least as good. Probably better since it's not an origin movie. So tired of origin movies. That being said, I'd take a real War Machine origin. Hey Mops, what's up, brosi? Same Duke-a-doo, different day. That sounds about right. Well, we're running through Splinter Skull again, so I mean, there's ever same Duke-a-doo, different day. Where is my person? There it is. I don't know. Are you excited for the Kingsman's movie? I'm ready. See, I did what, one trap? I think the next one we do should give us a little bit of XP. So we'll knock out the next one just because it's right here. Yeah, alright, let's go. That's like a 600 XP trap, so. Okay, I guess not. I guess it was like 250. When they cross the whole multiverse, let you know. In Kingsman? I don't think Kingsman's ever gonna cross the multiverse. Millerverse? I don't know, man. I'm pretty... I like it a lot. I think, like, the action scenes... Those are kind of action scenes that we're kind of missing right now. clean trash, and then we'll deal with this ward after we don't have to worry about anything else. We're just gonna get tripped like 9,000 million times. I think they need some B comics hero stuff. Like, I think what they could do they could kill Tony Stark at the end of Infinity Wars, like they did in the comics. Well, we all know he's not dead. Actually, is there enough traps if I go this way? I think so. But then have a Tony Stark AI go help Rory Williams as a TV show. And you can have Ironheart as a TV show. And they could do a really good job. And then that way you could set up a new Iron Man. He comes back and his body's... Whoa! Hey! Jerk butt! You're supposed to get your heals. Am I in pain? No, I'm dead. You didn't cast this bloody heal spell on me. Oh, you died too. Oh, like... You put a tripper in with... Whoa! One of these guys is hitting like a freight train. Let's buy a minute here. Was not expecting that at all. You didn't know that, did you? Kingsman and Kick-Ass take place in the same universe in the comics. I did not. I did not 100% know that Kingsman was a comic. I assumed it was. But I haven't read any. Hopefully Comixology will have a sale. Okay, so it's that guy that's hitting like a freaking truck. Sheesh. Kingsman is called Secret Service. I'll have to try to find some on Comixology or something. Wow, that was a serious beating right there. Well, I mean, like, Wild Wild West, that was an amazing TV series for the time. We have nothing even close to anything like that now. If we want to get some sort of awesome action adventure like that, we have to go animated with Archer. It's Kingman, Kickass, Superior, Nemesis, Super Crooks, and Empress. Okay. I'll have to see if I can acquire something. Oh no, I was hoping that they would have the Guyver Magna too, but there's a place you can read it all for free online, so I guess the company released it. Oh, that's not a key I can unlock. And then of course I caught up on Ironheart this week. So I've got to catch up on Doom. In case I get randomly murdered, I guess we'll open this door. It's so embarrassing. And of course, one of these trap boxes cannot be disabled. I think it's this one actually. Cannot be disabled until after the chest is open, is that right? No, it's right here. I always think that it's in the middle, but it's not. It's right here. I will say I did enjoy the first Kick-Ass movie. I don't really remember that much about the second Kick-Ass movie. I may not have even watched it. Alright, what's our XP? 30%. To make up for our death penalty, or lack of death bonus. And I definitely would like to get a different rune arm too. Recoil is great if you're ranged, but if you're melee, it's not one of the better ones. Chest is locked. Oh, did I pick up the key? I thought I did. I meant to did. What else is going on? Alright, anything sweet? I don't think I currently have these. These new. I think that some of these slotted options are a little bit of a failure to incentivize. I realized I didn't want it to look like you're buying your way to victory or whatever, but at the same time it feels like they're pretty underwhelming. I don't think they support the in-game browser anymore, do they? I feel like they removed it. But it's not something I use a lot, so I don't know. Excuse me. Like even the DDO store now pulls you to an external browser. Keep that armor for now. Should look at crafting on that flicker. Yeah, I don't think you can do that anymore. I don't think that's something that they realized they lost when they did that. Yeah, yeah, it wasn't something I thought about until you said it either. We used to have fashion shows all the time. In the defense guild. And by fashion shows, I mean we would all try on armor with our different characters. And then about half the time, probably half of us would end up buying an armor skin. Woo! Ads! Oh, here's a spoiler. The fancy new deck comes with a new 6-mana Jace. Jace Insidious Mind Mage. 6 mana for 5 loyalty. +1 draw a card, +1 untap all creatures you control. -9, gain control up to 3 target creatures. Well, that's cool. The rest of it's kind of meh, but steal 3 dudes. That's pretty sweet. I gotta get the podcast out today. Alright, who's next? Bounty Hunter would be good. Starting the Iron Mines would be okay. Sleepless Night is fine. Purge Heretic's fine. Dredge Willows is fine. Rune Halls is fine. Let's go start in. Yeah, I'm not up to date with this story. When they used to give you one with a fat pack, I would buy a fat pack every time just to get the book. I mean, I often bought the books or the fat packs anyway, but generally my strongest motivation was to read the story in the book. I mean, we'll angle this up for just a second. If you look up on that shelf up there, you can even see fat pack boxes sitting up there. Like, there's one up there, there's a couple more that you can kind of see. Like, I really like the fat packs in the book. Grab this quest while we're over here. Now they've taken those books out. I'm sure it wasn't cost effective, but they could at least put a code in there for the digital stuff. For like an Amazon thing. But I guess they put it out for free on their website or something. I don't know. I think they were going for like a concept of a multi-story story. We're like, oh yeah, these gatequash people, they're just gonna go around and rescue the universe. And then people didn't like that, so then they went, okay, well what we'll do is what we'll do is we'll have these Gatewatch people get crushed by Nicol Bolas, and then we will do a slightly different series of stories. I'll be right back. I gotta get something to blow my nose. Alright, sorry about that. Ran out of Kleenexes this morning and thought I'd be okay, but then that one hit wrong. Alright, search out the trap. The danger. Excuse me. Nice. Gain armor on stun. Oh, that's the wrong game. So they said after this one, the story is not going to focus on the Gatewatch for a while. If I remember correctly. Yeah, we don't even have to go down there. I don't think we need to worry about a shrine. Yeah, I feel like it may not be the next, may not be Accidental Dinosaur set, Pirate Dinosaur set, but and it could be the one after that. But here very soon they're gonna not focus on the Gatewatch as hard. Oh, Ladderbug, you're the best. Oh man, the return to Domineer is going to be so sweet. I know they won't, but that's where they should do the Magic the Gathering movie. So I think we have some junk, right? Yeah, we do. Some junk bolts to get rid of. I still want new Phyrexia versus old Phyrexia. Yeah, I mean, could be fine. I just... Urza, Mishra, like... there were some good storylines in there. And if you were to treat it like you would a comic book movie... Alex, where's the... It's right here, right? There. This way? We take like a great storyline and give it the C rating. It'd be great. So according to this Michael Aids, MD, that's the shrine. In 2000, no state had an obesity rate above 25%. However, now 25 states have a rate over 30%. That just means America's in the last 17 years become sicker and more unhealthy. Whew, I've got to lose some weight. So I'm sure if I'm not 30% overweight, I would be shocked. But I've been big for a while. It took me a while to get this big. It's going to take me a little while to get it this big, but that's some pretty scary numbers. New unclaimed territory is going to be sweet. Poor man's Cavern of Souls. I feel like there's a trap box here somewhere. So that's the reason why this one's not as great. Like, even a straight line most of the time would be good. This one right here. Also, draft weekend foil. Bishop of Rebirth. White, and 3 creature, vampire, cleric. Whenever it attacks, you may return to our creature card, convert mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Holy shit. That seems sweet. And of course, the open house promo is the walk the plank, which will be awesome. I like the treasure mechanic too, actually. I wish they could pick something that is essentially that name the whole time and just call it that. Because it's basically the exact same thing as the Teferi Planewalker thing, right? Like, make a thing that you can tap and sacrifice to make mana. More than a clue? I don't know if I like it more than a clue. More than a clue seems rough. That's true. You play a format that's just filled with card draw. Also say blink. Green, black, and dredge. I mean, there's lots of good card draw in those colors too. Probably one of my favorite spells. Raider Dude. These champions are hitting pretty hard. Harder than I would like. Oh, we have a new planeswalker. Hotail? I don't know. Dinosaur Knight. She's Boros. She costs 6 mana. +2, put 2 1/1 counters on up to 1 target dinosaur you control. -3, target dinosaur you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. -7, dinosaurs you control get +4/+4 to end of turn. They're on Goldfish's website probably, but I'm just rolling through my Twitter feed. MTG Goldfish. Need to see if there's any way we can get actually I'm gonna keep that mace. I've been considering trying to craft a new one-handed thing because this mace is running into places where I'm not, specifically for like killing undead. Alright, let's see. Run over here. We're almost 10 o'clock. We'll be wrapping up in about another hour. Jerry will come on for some DDO. We'll bounce out. Probably switch games. Not a lot of writing on this sci-fi about me. Need to get something written and send over to that as well. Kind of scrolling through the Facebook feed now too. World's okayest DM. I like that t-shirt. I'm a little ogre. Ooh, hi Powder. Haven't seen you here in a while. One of these numbers. Trash out the way so we can deal with the threat. What's Nathan Fillion trending for? Just Dragon Con? Yeah, just Dragon Con. Yeah, I should re-examine watching some of these other shows again. Although they're Hulu's got a couple of shows now that I want to watch too. I just kind of learned about. And of course, I'd like to catch up on Bosch and stuff. I don't know. There's a lot of shows to watch. Not always a lot of time to watch them in. Let's see. Can we get in trouble? Can we aim to misbehave? Pandemonium! You douche. Yeah, Cloak and Dagger is going to be really exciting. I'm also looking forward to Gifted. It looks like pretty good. I don't know, if you are looking for something like underappreciated on Hulu, Married, the FX show, was actually very, very good. Judy Greer is amazing. I love her. With a capital boner. But it was very funny. It's not super long, but very, very good. Also, Hulu has Survivor Man. So, I'm about to crush through Survivor Man again. I love Survivor Man. I watch Survivor Man all the time, almost. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. Definitely in my top 10 of favorite shows of all time. I'm mentally trying to compose this list. Like, coupling has got to be on this list. The British coupling. MASH, I think, has got to be on the list. Yeah, I thought there was a mushroom down here. I think I missed it before. It's very likely that Archer would have to make that list. Firefly might have to make that list. Enterprise would definitely have to make that list. Oh man, when's Discovery coming out? Did it get moved? I feel like it did. Batman the Animated Series has got to be on that list. See, like, so many things don't take bleeding and slicing damage. I'd kind of like to have something for those situations. Can we pick this open? Darn it. They just leave a collectible and they're taunting us so we can't get to. I kind of want to put the... Is it the Amazing Spider-Man? But I don't think I would... I don't want to go down there. Also would be for a reboot of a bunch of other cartoons or older TV shows. Oh, well, the new Battlestar Galactica's probably got to be on that list somewhere. Damn. so good. Well, there was one season I didn't care for very much. Now that I think about it. Longmire might have to be on that list. Longmire's never been disappointing. So good. This took us a hair longer than it should have. My Bard song wears out, then you know that I screwed up. Yeah, I don't really have to sit down and think about this list. There we go, winner, winner. I wonder if Tobrel's awake yet. Let's see. It's unlikely. Hello? I say he logged on to TeamSpeak. I bet he's still asleep though. Allegedly he played at least 4 more games of HOTS before he went to bed last night, so... that puts him getting to bed around 2 his time, which is, I think, late for him. Alright, I'll get moved down to the streaming channel. And if he shows up and wants to chit-chat, he'll know where to find us. I'll just call from here. Oh, hey, you know what? We're still wearing a ring that we don't need to. Alright, so let's transition this ring over to here. And then let's get our fort ring off of there. We'll probably just put the search one on all the time for now. As long as we're finding them, it's fine. Let's go back to Stormreach. That's not where we wanted to go. Live action Teen Titans has found its Robin. Magnificence Brendan Waits? I don't know if I know who that is. Oh, yeah. I want to get rid of this letter. Alright, what do we want to do now? We don't have infinite time. We skipped Delira's tomb. Maybe we should go do the first two Delira's tomb. We were saving that for technical, but I think he ended up making iconic, so I don't think he really cares that much about XP. But the first two, and we went to the wrong place anyway, so... we'll just go through this. Alright. I don't want... There we go. We have a Warforged fighter, which sounds scary. We have a Warforged sword. We'll try a flare here. It's gonna be a little bit more difficult to heal, but if we like him, we can always grab a heal stick. Have we really not gotten any action points today? Oh yeah, no, we're not going to do that. House J's this way. Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, DDO is just not one of my better games, unless it's on Wednesdays. That's fine. I'll help you, Derek. just blow through this. I don't think we need the hireling for this one. I'm just thinking, like, would it be quicker? I think the answer is no. Guess people are going to GPDC tomorrow, really? We not just have a big GP? Yeah, I swear like there's even more GPs now than there was, and they're just bigger and bigger. Oh, we're gonna get so tired of looking at that. Maybe we should have taken the time to build a weapon first. Look how many immunes are popping up across the screen right now. Next level, this of course won't be a problem, but yeah, I thought there was a champion in there. I thought the only thing that made sense. I think we're worried about those. Definitely want to get any champions we find. Drop us sweet stuff. Nothing. Man, now I can't think of this idea of the top 10 TV shows on my list. It just keeps going over and over in my mind. Alright, that's enough of that. I really like this song. set this one off. This is one of the few times that I use the first person mode. Scare the crap out of me. I'm not gonna lie. Whatever reason that freaked me out. It flying through me like that. That's when you know you've been playing a game too long. Huh? Not sure where exactly I touched. Must have landed on the edge of this zone. Let's give ourselves a feather fall then. I did actually get through this with an abundant leap. I was able to get through. Or it wasn't an abundant leap. Whatever the... Somebody had an attack that let me get through. One of those leap attacks. Maybe it was on the rogue life when I had the leap forward. That's probably what it was. You can get that pretty cheap. I don't know, what do you guys want to talk about? Anyone have anything else? Otherwise, I'm just going to continue to ramble for the next half an hour. We could talk about something exciting and useful. Exciting and useful, so not our president. So, I get in this fight with people a lot. I'm not a Trump fan. I never have been. I never probably will be. But a poll came out, I think yesterday, where there was... there were two questions that kind of came out with this poll. Do you think that President Trump is doing a good job bringing the country together or pulling them apart? And about 70% of people said he's tearing the country apart, where about 30% said that he's doing a good job of pulling people together. Right? So, the other question on that poll was, do you like Trump personally, or do you dislike Trump personally? And it was almost exactly lined up with that percentage. Like, almost exactly. So people think that he's doing a bad job based off the fact that he's a butt nugget, not necessarily off the fact that he's doing a poor job or not. Oh, this is not the quest I wanted. This is a 9. Yeah, we don't want to do this quest. I thought it was 5, 6, 7. I guess this one's a 7. So, I mean, again, I think he would be a much better president if he took his Twitter away and like not let him make public statements. Like, we've had presidents in the past that did their job and tried to stay out of the public eye. I mean, I think he would do a better job. It may not be the best job or the greatest job or whatever, but it would be better. You know what I mean? Like, people would not be able to see him running at his mouth or whatever. He would get judged by the job he does. And, like, for example, the hurricane coverage, if the news media thought that he was doing a bad job at the hurricane, they would have talked about it. They would have fallen over themselves to have the hurricane damage be really bad. But instead they had to talk about Melania's shoes and, like, other shenanigans. He's wanting to get better ratings before the storm hit or whatever. I agree. He is trying to cut flood relief. And I personally don't think that's a good idea. But I'm not saying that he couldn't do a better job if he would shut the hell up and just do his job. I don't care for the man. I didn't vote for the man. I'm just saying I think a lot of people judge him based off of the fact that he vomits at the mouth. And honestly, they probably don't need that much flood relief. Texas is the richest state in the union after California. Now that he's got them under control, it'll be fine. He's got them bullied. Whatever. I think people try to make him think that he's smarter than he is, or he thinks he's smarter than he is. I think he's just a guy. I think Obama was smarter. I didn't like his politics very much, but I think he was smarter. He was definitely well posed, and he's going to have the ability to be memorably favored for a long time. I didn't care for his policies very much at all. And all the same shenanigans happens. The presidency has become a popularity contest. And not the guy who's in charge of the country. The fact the whole system's broken. I don't know if the whole system's broken. The system was designed to be kind of slow moving and turtle wins the race kind of thing. Like, that's the whole idea. But the fact that it kind of has devolved into this two-party instead of like a group of individuals, instead kind of pooled into these alliances. And you can see the same shit at a smaller scale, like on an episode of Survivor or Big Brother or any of these reality shows that people love right now. People inherently fracture down into groups and try to win with the numbers. And then you cross somebody, damn the consequences. Doesn't matter what party you're affiliated with. They're gonna cut you. And I think that people not realizing that that is their inherent nature is part of the problem. Why is this not open? Come on. But like the fact that it takes will to actually get through is important. You know those are edited to look like that, right? There's part of that. But if they couldn't have some sort of tribalism between some number of groups, then they wouldn't have anything to edit from. So even though they're edited, I don't even watch this shit anymore. But there is some sort of group fracturing. Some of that now, I believe, is also encouraged with the, I don't know, the tribes. And I think I know a little bit more about Big Brother than the other show, because the wife always has the Big Brother on during that time. But like Survival, I think they put people in tribes right away, right? But Big Brother, the games that they play are inherently set to like divide people into groups. Look up Panzer and King of the Nerds. They do some really... Yeah, I imagine they do. Because that's what people like. People like the infighting and the bickering and the drama. Which is why Trump got elected. You took the two most unliked characters in in American politics, put them up against each other, and the guy who got the most, who stirs up the most drama won. That was a no-brainer. Like, I'm one of the people who feel like the government, specifically the federal government, should have a very limited role at things. And, like, national disaster relief is one of them. So don't get me wrong, like, I'm a big proponent of getting Texas back up on its feet. I was a big fan of getting New Jersey back up on its feet. New Orleans, I would have liked to see them make some major structural changes to the city to try to negate these again in the future. And you build a city under sea level on the sea. But like New York City, instead of building the appropriate dams or whatever, dikes or water breaks or whatever, they just let their sewers or their subways fill with water. Like, I'd like to see that money spent on infrastructure for prevention of future storms. Because to be fair, according to what we can piece together, superstorms have been in relatively calm here in the U.S. for a while. And that's not the norm, historically. And it looks like they're going to continue to increase. Like, I think we have another one on the way. Is that correct? Do I remember reading that today? I think I remember reading that today. Another storm's building off in the Gulf of Mexico. Sleepless Nights is the other one, right? And out here. Oh no, I think things would have been a hell of a lot better right now if Gary Johnson would have won. He'd be too high to tweet. He wouldn't have sent, like, massive amounts of Mary J over to North Korea, got them bombed. Probably don't need him for this quest either. The news media may have actually covered news. That'd be nice. Instead of, what terrible thing did President Trump say on Twitter this week? And of course it would be a lot easier if we didn't have President Trump saying terrible things on Twitter. Which is where I think is most important right now. Take his bloody phone away. I don't know. I like to think that I have a realistic point of view of politics and the world. Like, I don't try to be an idealist on these kind of things. And then I spout some shit about how the national government has like 4 jobs, and then people get turned off. Samius, you can't say that. Fucking true. Alright. Click the thing. We looted the treasure chest. I'm just gonna go. I hear a lot of stories right now from coming out of Texas. Do you know you said Insidious Mind Mage before? That's the name of the Jace, right? The 6-mana Jace. Anyway, I was saying that there's a lot of stuff coming out. It's ingenious. Oh, well. Samius doesn't always read so good, especially when he's trying to read out of one eye and play a game in the other. But, there's a lot of really terrible stories coming out of Texas right now where people are not prepared for things. Like a woman who walked to get food for her family on the first day and then basically was starving for 3 days. Her and her kids, and then they walked themselves out. I think people need to take lessons from this story, or these stories coming out of Texas, and prepare themselves a little bit. You don't have food for a day, a week. Like, you should be able to have food for a couple of days. Everyone should have food for at least 24 hours. Well, and again, I don't think she was dumb. I just think that's just the life of some people now. It's just, again, just the realization, like, you don't even need a refrigerator. You just go to the store. Like, I feel like making this tonight, and you go to the store and you buy that on your way home from work at your corner market. You know, because you work like 3 blocks away or whatever. And you buy food. Like, isn't there a study that the majority of New Yorkers would be dead inside of a week if somebody locked down the roads, like, into and out of New York City? Like, they just don't have enough food there to keep the city alive without bringing food in from the outside for, like, more than a week. But I've been a prepper advocate for a while. I think it's the same thing. I think people need to realize that all the governments, no, not state, not local, not federal, nobody, they're not going to be able to save you. They're not going to be able to save everybody every time right away. You can take a little bit of personal responsibility and be prepared for an emergency. Even Lessa, who is way more to the left than I am, for example, has started coming out, and we've talked about it numerous times about preparedness. You know, because in Texas they go through hurricanes every year, and she goes through her hurricane kit every year and makes sure everything's prepared for the worst. And I think that's awesome. I think more people need to do that. And she put a thing out on Facebook today, like, really this week, really thankful that she had her kit together. Hopefully they won't get another use out of it, but I don't know, we'll see. Red Willows, I think we have time for one more. Here we'll go ahead and turn on our hireling just because. But like Steiner with FEMA, you know, I don't know if he'll go in. I don't think that's his region. But, you know, they'll go in and they'll spend a bunch of money, put people up, and get things going, and a lot of these people will be fine and some of them won't be. Alright. We may or may not have successfully gotten the optional today. I don't know. I never know. Now that I had my rant, who's got other subjects they'd like to tackle here in the last 10 minutes of the show? Guess I could have the guy cast haste on me. That'd be okay. Just don't take damage back there. That's all I ask. Also, I'm not fixing you if you die. Ooh, let's go ahead and eat one of these regen ones. I have the feeling this is going to get nasty. Get off. Get off the robots. Well, wasn't bad. I'll take that. Did you loot the chest? Like you... Nope. You're gonna get the tasty ham eaten? Right here. Come on. For anyone who doesn't know that happens to be here, I'm sure most of you who are hanging out here are just waiting for Jerry anyway. But Jerry should start his afternoon stream on DDO stream pretty soon. I don't know the rest of the schedule. I just happen to know the days that he's doing this thing. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to take a lunch break, and then we'll probably come back with some hots with Tobrel if Tobrel's around. If not, I'm not sure what we'll do after lunch. I know, I was thinking about starting a new show. No hurry eating lunch. Man, I was thinking about starting a new Facebook show, basically, where I take and essentially hang out with some people on a live, more this way, on like on a Google Hangout type thing, and basically just pick a subject and talk about it for like 20 minutes. Try to stay close to 20 minutes. But I didn't get to Jakills you. There's actually something pretty scary that has come out of Texas that I don't know if everybody has heard. But some of the oil companies apparently have lost a great deal of chemicals. That's kind of scary. With, ironically, X-Slide losing the least. Our Bard song is worn off, and I did not think about checking it. Let's do one of these. See if we can catch some guys. And we'll do one of these. And you're aggravating everybody. Hope you were ready for that flare. I'm going to say you probably were not. So last life we were in here, I don't remember if we did this on Reaper. I feel like that's what happened. We were on Reaper mode. And we had some places where we struggled a little bit. There's stuff here, extra hit points in here. Mostly on this giant fight. Sometimes these giants are real rough. I mean, not always, but sometimes. It also doesn't help that I'm continuously forgetting to hit this double strike button. Come on. Players out of the mana stuff. We might move to ranged. Yeah, let's do it. Let's see if we can get Flare back to Shrine. I'll just kill him. It'll take a minute, but we'll just kill him. Knocked out one or two of these giants. They're almost dead. Now we can just switch back to melee. It's easy, easy peasy. Easy peasy. Well, I think I'm going to heat up what's left of the meatloaf and make a meatloaf burrito for lunch today. That sounds okay. So we didn't clear 4 dudes out of the jungle path. Darn it. Darn it. Alright guys, well, hopefully you'll come back and join us after our lunch break here. We'll probably take about an hour and a half, would be my assumption. Get something to eat. Check on some things. I gotta work on the podcast. 2 Trolls and a Brew, get that out. It usually doesn't take me that long once I actually do it. The write-up, if I do a good job, takes a little bit. I don't always remember to do it. So, hopefully I get that done. I can get some food in me. And we'll be back. Probably, I said, if everything works out, we'll come back with Tobrel. Play a little bit of HOTS this afternoon for a couple hours, and then we'll see what happens. And guys, thanks again for watching. We appreciate it. And I hope you enjoyed it. And we'll be back on Monday for more D&D or DDO if that's the game you're interested in watching. Alright guys, thanks. I'll see you soon. Never thought of what? Before I log off, what have you not thought about? Making a meatloaf burrito? Yeah. Tobrel has a theory, and the longer I've lived, the more I believe his theory is correct. That tortillas are the single greatest platform for eating. You can put pretty much everything on a tortilla, wrap it up and eat it. It's neat. One hand. Don't have to worry about things. Solid. Meatloaf sandwiches are good, but you almost always have to have two hands for a sandwich. So, alright guys, thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you guys hopefully in about an hour and a half. Peace. Go watch Jerry DDO stream. Later.